Welcome back. Today we start a new series. Today we start a series of talking about JavaScript tutorials. In this series, we try to answer questions that you may face in interviews that related to JavaScript. This series, I guess it will be quite long one because there's a lot to know about JavaScript. Today we start with the most important thing about JavaScript, which will be the prototype chain. Um, Basically, when you are right now in an interview and your interviewer tell you like what is prototype chain in JavaScript, or what can you describe prototype chaining? And in my opinion, prototype chain is the most important thing in JavaScript. It's what we build on the inheritance because JavaScript is not class-based language; it's a prototype-based language. So basically, the first thing that I want to do, like prototype chaining, is used to what is prototype chaining used to do. So basically, prototype chaining is used to build a new types of objects based on existing ones. It is similar to inheritance in class-based languages. The prototype on object in instance is available through something called object that get prototype of, or the dash proto property of any object. Yeah, as as Copilot is saying right now. So let's just try to answer this question. So first we want to talk about what we use a prototype. So basically, the prototype chain is a fundamental concept in JavaScript that governs how objects inherit properties and methods from other objects. It's essential to understand this concept for effective object-oriented programming in JavaScript. And let's just talk about some points. And the first point I just want to talk about it will be the prototype object. Type object. Okay. And here let me here. Okay. So every object in JavaScript has a property called a prototype. Let me just try to put it to you here. Every object in JavaScript has a property called a prototype, and this property refers to another object which is used as a fallback source for properties and methods. So let's just give an example here. So basically, if we create a function called dog, and this dog have a name, take a name as an argument, and this dot name equals name. Okay, and I will create I will console the log. If I console the log prototype, it will be the actual constructor. Because it refers to the constructor, and we talk about what is a constructor. And if you create a new instance based on this dog, you find the prototype, it will be dog. The second thing that I want to talk about is or I guess it's not be a constructor. It could be also you may find the empty object. It will not be a constructor. It will be empty object, or the constructor will be an empty object. But it's mainly it will be an empty object. Number two, we want to talk about the proto property. And each object also has a hidden proto property that points to its prototype object. For example, if I created here a new thing like create a const, I'll call it my dog, and this my dog equals new dog, and I'll call it Rex, and I console the log. Let me just I will console my log first, my dog, let's make it like my dog dot proto equals to dog dot dot prototype. Yeah, and this will be true because they point to the same constructor, and this will be true because they point to the same constructor. The third thing that I want to talk about is the inheritance. Three inheritance. Sorry, it should be I instead of E. So when you access a property or method on object, JavaScript first checks if that property exists on the object itself. If it doesn't find it, it looks up to the prototype chain to find the property in its prototype until it reach null. So for example, we have the dog again here, and I'll create a new prototype. So I'll say dog dot prototype dot bark. For example, it will be function. It will be console.log. Yeah, console.log bark. Okay. And I added this property or added this method in the prototype chain. So if I just said my dog dot park, my dog the park, it should return park for me. But how this happened? This happened by the inheritance. So basically, when you access a property or method on an object, JavaScript first check if that property exists on the object itself, and if it doesn't find it, it looks up to the prototype chain to find the property in the prototype, and we continue until we reach null if we can't find it. And we reach null, we don't do more. We have the chaining prototype, so we want to talk about that. Number 4, we want to talk about the chaining prototype, which is the prototype can themselves have prototypes creating a chain of objects. So for example, I have a function called animal, and I say this dot is alive equals true. And I have my dog upstairs, and I will say dog dot prototype, it will equals new equals new animal. And if I said const, I have my dog. Where is my dog? Yeah, let's create const my dog. I'll say my dog 2, and I'll call it body, and I will say console log. So basically here, as we can see, the prototypes can themselves have prototypes, creating a chain of objects. So basically, we create a new function, and we added in the prototype, and we created a chain of objects. So basically, when you do my job, my dog is alive. JavaScript, for example, can't see this in my dog directly, so it looks at its prototype, which is we look at my leg. It looks at dog directly, and it find that there is something called animal, and it has something called is alive. And lastly, we want to talk about object.prototype. Yeah. So basically, all the top of the prototype chain is object.prototype. every object in JavaScript ultimately inheritance from this object. For example, if I have my object, if created a new object, let's create this object, and I'll say console.log my object.toString to string, we will get something called object.object. So basically here at the top of the prototype chain is object.prototype. Every object in JavaScript ultimately inherited from this object, and this is the example that prove this for you. And I want to say understanding the prototype chain is crucial for creating a efficient and maintainable JavaScript code, especially when you're working with constructor functions and custom prototypes. It allows you to build inheritance hierarchy and share functionality among objects, share sorry, I have problem with my throat. It allows you to build inheritance hierarchy and share functionality among objects effectively. So basically yeah, basically that's it for this video. If you like my content, make sure to subscribe and hit the notification bell so you never miss a video, and see you guys in future problems.